separates good content from great content is the willingness to take risk and push yourself to be involved in it. There is always a different story than the story that is shown to us. Success can be seen because it is what everyone is keen to achieve, but the struggle behind it is a life story. It's easy for us to see anyone successful and judge them if we don't like them, but the struggle ventured by the person is unseen to us. And that is what the world is facing. Rather than supporting each other, we are preparing to drag them down. But to remind all of them, we are humans and we need humans. We need to be competitive, not wicked. This world can be a better place to live only when we are united, not when we are isolated. So let's be united, everyone. So now let's move to the final topic, Team to Term. Introducing myself, I am Sandhya, the member of Tuesday Talk with Paragon.
And myself, I am Smarika Sa, one of the member of Tuesday Talk with Paragon.
And similarly, it's me, Fal Subedi, the another member of Tuesday Talk with Paragon.
And we together are going to proceed ahead with the show. A very mesmerizing good afternoon to our viewers who are watching us live. We welcome you all to the new episode of Tuesday Talk with Paragon. Getting close to today's subject, we actually have come up with something new and interesting. And we actually are going to proceed ahead with today's show, moving along with an interview with our Honorable Vice Principal Sir, Mr. Manoj BK. The one with a magic effect that may influences people instantly with positive vibes. So with great greetings, let's commence the interview with our affable sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, it's good afternoon or good evening. Thank you
Good
very
evening,
much.
sir.
Good evening.
You look handsome.
Okay, thank you. So I'm really delighted when I see my children here in front of me, especially like when you joined the school, you joined as a toddlers here. And we are like farmers actually, we were given the seed. And that seed we nurtured and it is growing into a tree, a beautiful, strong tree. So you joined as a toddler. We taught you alphabet, from alphabet to words to the sentence, then to the meaningful sentences, then to the critical sentences. So I'm so glad to be in front of you, to be interviewed by my dearest children.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, with our jubilant heart, we welcome you to this show.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited, delighted.
So yeah, actually we have been waiting for this moment for so long and can't wait to proceed ahead. Right, Sandhya?
Yeah, of course. You are right, Fayal. So without any further delay, let's start the interview. Sir, could you please tell us about your educational background and how it has prepared you for this job, your school and place of birth?
My education, regarding the background of my education, I studied in India. I studied in a very popular Hindu missionary school, Ramakrishna Mission School. It is in Arunachal Pradesh area. Okay, so though it is a Hindu missionary school, but they never forced anyone to convert to the Hindu, or they never forced to dislike or like any particular religion. It was quite a very secular environment we got. Even our prayer hall where we used to go and pray, like all the gods, all the symbol of all the different religions were there. We just need to sit there and we used to pray to the God. So that kind of environment I got. And regarding schooling, if you ask anyone, do you remember anything about your school days? Other than studies, they remember everything. And yes, I remember a lot of things. I remember all the activities, all the mischievous things, like every student they do in their life. I remember all my mischievous things, whatever I did in the school days. I remember my friends. I remember the punishment given to me by my teacher and everything. So our school, like it's actually, it was like based on the philosophy of Swami Vivekananda. You might have heard about a very dynamic Hindu monk Okay,
Yes, sir.
so he was so modern even at that age. Like his teachings were so great. So I'm always like our my education is always influenced by the teachings of Swami Vivekananda. Yes.
Wow, it seems so great actually, and we also came up to know so much of things about your school. A very nice journey, right? So we also know that our school is playing a very vital role to educate the students like us and make us disciplined. So discipline has always become the most important pillar of our school, right? So what is your approach to discipline and motivation for students?
Uh, so you want me to tell me about like which way to motivate the children about the discipline?
Yes, sir. What is your approach to discipline?
My approach is like sometimes most of the time we just lecture. You have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined all the time. We lecture, but we teachers, we educators, we must be a role model to our students. Like how we dress up. My school always taught me, like in my school days, my dress used to be like nicely ironed. My shoes were polished. My hairs were always short. So that culture was given to me by my school, and we learned from each other. Like everyone used to follow the same thing, and our teachers, they always used to teach us about, and they were the role model to us. And with the teachings of the great people, we were influenced, and we thought, okay, just by telling the students follow discipline, it doesn't work. We teachers have to be role models. We teachers have to transform the children. The attitude of the children must be transformed. Only that way we can achieve this very big word. We often use discipline, discipline, discipline. That is a very challenging word. It is like changing the attitude of a person. So I think like we have to be role model to be to our children. And if we are not punctual, if I as a teacher, if I'm not punctual, how can I expect my children to be punctual? So I have to be in my office before the time. Then only I can expect my children to give value to the time.
So
Amazing,
true,
sir. Sir, you always wear an outstanding and admirable personality with you. How do you plan and prioritize yourself and your work?
It's an interesting thing. God is very fair to everyone. God is regarding the time. God has given 24 hours time to everyone. Rich, poor, healthy, sick people, big, small, everyone God has given 24 hours. Now, how you manage these 24 hours, it depends on you. So within this 24 hours, we have to do everything. So I always prioritize. I always like think, no, I cannot waste even a single minute. So I give value to time, and this habit, which the punctuality, like I have to give respect to time, I have to value time, is from my school. My schooling is like that. It always taught you must value time. So this is the reason why there is a saying, like during my school days, my Sanskrit teacher, he used to narrate the Doha of Kabir. कल करे सो आज करे सो अब, पल में परले होगी, बहुरी करेगा कब. So it has a deep impact in my mind. So I should not wait for tomorrow. I should not keep things for tomorrow. So because of that, I'm able to manage time very well. I work for around 13 to 14 hours every day. I manage to go gym every day, 2 hours workout I do every day, okay? And within this 24 hours, I managed to watch IPL, which is currently going on. I managed to watch Netflix, all the beautiful series I watched there. So within these 24 hours, we have to manage everything.
You are too punctual, sir, and that's great thing about you. Sir, do you believe that most important that all the teachers, all the vice principals, and everyone included in the profession of schooling, they should have the very important qualities and skills like you have?
Every individual has their strengths and weaknesses. To be successful in our life, first we have to question ourselves. First we have to identify ourselves. What is my strength and what is my weaknesses? So if we are able to identify this, then we can correct ourselves. And teacher, like there are many names to the teacher these days. Like teachers are not only the source of information. Like these days, Google is there. Like it's a like all the information, whatever you need, with one click you get the information, isn't it? So teachers are an experienced traveling companion for the students. An experienced traveling companion. They share their experience to their children. So yes, I do agree. Teachers, if they don't update themselves, they will be outdated. Like when it was iPhone 4, iPhone 3 was there, it was very popular that time. But when you are unable to update that iPhone, it becomes useless. Now iPhone 11 has come, now iPhone 12 will come. So we teachers, we must update ourselves. Otherwise, the young people will take over and we will become outdated. So to be successful in this profession these days, like it's really challenging. It's really challenging these days. Like when we started these online classes, like we were totally lost, like from where to start. But we worked hard, we kept ourselves updated. Otherwise, I told you, we will become outdated.
So true, sir. They are great virtues. Sir, you might have supervised lots of teachers. So how many teachers have you supervised? Could you please describe a time when you successfully assisted a teacher?
I joined Paragon in the year 2003 as a teacher. And you know, when I joined as a teacher, it was the Paragon Public School is quite a reputed school. It has it's quite famous. So it was a walk-in interview. And there was a huge crowd outside outside the gate of Paragon. So I saw many smart people with big degrees with them. And I thought I don't think I will get this job. So I just managed to, that day, many teachers were sent back because it was too crowded. They were called for tomorrow. So they let me in. I was interviewed. Like every time I was dressed up very nicely. I was wearing a white shirt, a blue pant, well polished shoes, hair trimmed, everything perfect. So every time I tell everyone, your presentation is very important. Degree everyone has, but how you present yourself. And along with that, children, I had some additional degree with me. Additional, which we ignore during the school time. Like I was the member of, I was a cadet of NCC, National Cadet Corps. Okay, so that gave me added advantage. And among so many highly qualified people, those who have just academic degree only, because of that, I got selected. So, okay, that was how I entered in Paragon. And after that, I worked for almost 1 or 2 years as a teacher. Then I'm promoted to coordinator, then to senior coordinator, then to vice principal. And in the meantime, when I started, I was raw. I wasn't well qualified to be as a school leader. Then I felt, no, this is not the way. I must train myself. Then I joined a degree, I did my master's in education, leadership and management. And that opened my eyes. That opened me, opened my views towards the education. And from that time, I'm able to guide the teacher. I am able to supervise the teacher. I always see the teachers, those who are passionate, they can be successful in their life. And from their body language only, from their face only, we can easily make out. And some teachers, they need to be groomed. So time and again, we conduct a teachers training. And now I'm capable of training the teachers. And I always say, teachers without training are a big disaster. They are a big disaster. Okay, once I have said, a soldier with a gun but without a bullet is useless. In the same way, a teacher without a training is useless, because there are so many things to learn. We have to understand the psychology of the children. We have to understand the cognitive process. We have to understand the pedagogy. So many things we have to understand. So I have supervised many teachers. I have groomed many teachers. I groomed myself. So this way, the team which we have developed here is running successfully.
Interesting thoughts, sir. Mind blowing. So, in this current situation, the pandemic has affected the educational sector, and so virtual classes have become the most. Do you think these classes can motivate and engage students in an online environment?
Yeah, recently I read a troll, what you call memes over there in the some of the Facebook page. They said first they said sozo, then ati sozo, then comes the online teacher. Why he has said online teacher? Because they make fun of the teachers, student what they think. Teacher thinks all the students are listening to the teacher, but what they do, they switch on, they turn logged in, and they just vanish. But children, this is just a joke. But we know that this is not an ordinary situation, like not a normal situation. We have to adapt it. People don't accept changes easily. To accept the change from the physical to the virtual class is totally a different thing. So many things have to be adjusted. But slowly, the people are understanding the value of this. Now they think they've started believing that this is the new normal, this is the necessity. And to make it interesting, if we teachers are not trained, if we teachers don't make the curriculum interesting, we won't be able to hold the children attention in the online classes. That's why we always experiment with a lot of the new things. We read, we update ourselves, because we know if in the virtual class teachers just give one lecture and lecture for 45 minutes, everyone will yawn, no one will listen. So we told the teachers we have to bring variety in our classroom. That's why you see when you attend the classroom, there are so many things, new things you see every day in your class, because this is a part of our plan. Our teachers, they make the lesson plan, and we see the lesson plan. Whether we always see whether there is a variety in online classes or not. So for their children, we are also learning, and we try to implement new things so that our children, our dear children, should not get bored in their classroom. And we don't want to be ati sozo in the virtual world.
Yes.
Wonderful. That's so true. And we actually are doing it as well. So, in terms of time and work, are your overall expectations the same as or different from a traditional school?
Uh, See, I told you people don't accept changes easily. Okay. First, I told you transforming the attitude of the people is very important. Still, many of the people are thinking that this is a temporary arrangement. Okay, so once the people start taking this is like not a temporary arrangement, we have to take it seriously. Then everything will be perfect. Till that time, we are able to make people understand. No, this is not a temporary arrangement. This is an opportunity which we got through this online classes. Now see, children are become so expert in the ICT. They expert in the computer. There are many things. Sometimes we go, if some technical problems come up there in the online classes, children, they themselves guide us. Sir, do this. Sometimes they tell us, sir, click this link and you will get the solution. So that means like we are teaching a new skill. Children are learning a new skill. And this is the future, children. Because future is ICT. And this pandemic has given opportunity to introduce our children to this ICT. So isn't it wonderful? Today we are having this online, this virtual meeting, virtual interview. Isn't this wonderful? All the time we were it was in the physical way we took interview or we had a meeting. But see, this is.
You have a quite different thinking, sir. We really appreciate your thinking. As everyone knows, bullying has always become a burning issue in school. Have you ever handled a situation in which a student was bullied? If so, how?
Bullying is a universal problem. I don't say it only happens in the underdeveloped country or developing countries. Even in the developed country, it is situation is very developed, very pathetic situation is there. And bullying, like, it demoralizes, it demotivates, it kills the confidence of any child. And once the confidence of child is killed, means like the child's future is ruined. So I'm totally against the bullying. So many times we had in the assembly, we explained the children like what kind of bullying are, not only physical, the mental bullying is also there. Okay, this days the cyber bullying is there. So this kind of bullies are happening all around, but we are trying to minimize it by counseling the children, by telling the children like it has a negative impact. Like we cannot groom the child if child will lose its confidence. Okay, so that's why we are totally, Paragon is totally against. And whenever we get the case of bullying and all this, we take it very seriously. We call both the parents, we make them understand, and at the end we tell both the children to hug each other, and they become, many times they become very good family friends. The family, they become family friends, and after that we never hear or we never experience that kind of bullying from those children. So we take it very seriously, bullying, because when I was in school we were also bullied by our seniors, and when we were bullied, we don't feel like going to the school, because there is always fear. Okay, this boy will come, this, and they will try to hurt us. So we also have that experience. From our experience we learn and we try to improve, we try to work on that, and we want to, those bad things which happened in my life, I don't want my children to suffer from that. So we try our best.
So actually, as you just now say that you make the both students to hug each other and create a mutual understanding between each other. But do you think that doing only that much would bring some changes in the behavior of bullies and the victim of bullies?
Yeah, it's a challenging task for the schools. Okay, see, we talk about the holistic education, and what is this holistic education? Holistic education means which covers all the aspects of learning, that is mind, body and spirit. Okay, so body means like physically we are healthy, that is okay. Mind, how our cognitive process is good or not, whether we can grasp, whether we can understand the teacher's teaching or not, and all the psychological things comes under the mind. And spirit, we talk about the spiritual teaching, and here it plays a very important role, adhyatmic, spiritual teaching. So these days we don't get many gurus, the spiritual gurus. Like during our time, in my school days, in our course there was Mahabharata. Okay, our Sanskrit teacher, our teacher used to teach us Mahabharata, and from there they used to teach us many good things about the life, how to have a good character, how to be a nice person in your life. So these days, like, these things are missing. So who is your spiritual guru immediately now? Your parents. And children, they don't communicate with the parents. If they have any problem, they keep within themselves. And they think like, oh, I'm the sufferer and I'm the only one in this world who is suffering. They think that way. Until and unless you share your problem with your parents, how the parents will know? So I always suggest my children to share it with your parents, and the parents will come to know them. The grown-up people, from their experience, they talk to each other and they try to solve the problems of children. And if you keep within yourself, it will become a cancer. Okay? And it will kill you from inside. So always talk to your parents, whatever problems you share, because your parents are everything to you. And to your parents, you are everything to them. Okay? So you communicate with your parents. And parents are the one who is going to solve all your problems.
Well, thanks for thinking and analyzing these problems so seriously and making us feel protected and secured. So if a parent come to you, maybe it's my parents or my friend's parents, and if they are angry with you, they're upset about one of your teachers, how would you resolve that issue? Would it be difficult for you?
It's always difficult for us. Parents, whenever, see, if you are bitten by any of your friends, what will be your parents' reaction? Very angry. And who is the first one to face the fury of the parents? We teachers. So we often, like, whenever the parents come, they all pour down their anger on us, and we listen to them, and then we start talking to them. Okay, so this is the case. It happens because I told you, people feel like the problem when it comes to them, they think the problem is only with me, I'm the only one who's suffering. But we explain them, it happens with many of the parents, many cases happen, and we are solving. So that way, we calm them down, we cool them down, then we explain them, and we solve their parents, we solve the problems of the parents, by calling the parents of other children. So this way, like many cases we have solved, this way.
That's too good, sir. Sir, you might have achieved a lot in your vice principal career. So, what achievement are you most proud of in your principal career so far?
Whenever I see my students leading a successful life in a higher post, a respectable post, when I see my student, the pilot of that flight, when I go to the hospital, when I see a doctor over there, when I go to the government office, when I see officer in that office is my student, when I see a very successful businessman, so that is the biggest achievement I have achieved in my life. So that gives us immense pleasure, immense happiness. Like our happiness knows no bound when we see our children successful in their life. So this is the
Amazing.
thing which I achieved.
It sounds so interesting. So we all know that most of the parents think that most of the people think that students who are good at studies can only do better in future. So what is your opinion regarding this? What do you think about the students who are poor at studies but good in other extracurricular activities?
This is a very interesting thing. I was an average student during my school days, okay? And all the policies, like all the traditional teachers, which way they teach, they always focus with the toppers. And backbenchers were always the neglected one in the classroom. So whenever we make policy, whenever I talk to my team, we always make a policy in such a way where every child in the classroom should be entertained, where everyone should get noticed inside the classroom. And there is a saying by Swami Vivekananda, and that saying was written on the cover of our exercise book during our school days. Although I never understood the meaning that time, it says that education is the manifestation of perfection already in men. So that means it is the educator's responsibility to throw light on the strengths of the student. Every child is not necessarily will be good in mathematics. Some children will become good in music, some children will be good in dancing. These days the YouTubers are earning more money than the doctors or engineers. So field is wide open. We just need to groom. We just need to groom those children. We just need to nurture. We just need to build the confidence of these children. We have to identify, and we have to help them to identify the strength of that child. And we have to make them like a confident and courageous adult. Like if I'm good in singing, but I'm hesitant, oh, people will laugh at me if I sing. Then my talent will go away. So that talent we have to identify, and we have to give confidence to those children. No, you're very good in singing. Along with your studies, you move ahead with your singing career. So one day that person will be successful. So there are many cases like that. In my, like one child, like a long time back, when I went around in class 6, I asked who's the naughtiest boy in the class, the naughtiest child in the class. One boy raised his hand and said, I'm the one. So from that, what we can make out is the child has lost all the confidence, because all the teachers said you are bad child, you are good for nothing. Then I brought the child to my office and I asked, because I knew that the child was very good in football. So I talked to the child, I talked only about the football. Okay, and I gave him all the opportunity. Whenever there is a football match, I always give opportunity to this child play football. And when I encouraged him, then what happened? This child started building the confidence, and that child becomes equally good in studies. So we have to identify, we have to nurture these children. We have to know the strength of children. It's not necessarily like only the children, those who are good in mathematics, they are brilliant. It's not necessary. Even a child who is good in Nepali can be a brilliant person, can be a successful person in their life. So we should not judge person by seeing one part only. There are many, every child is different, every child has their own strength.
It actually is so true and related with many students of many schools. But when teachers like you educate us, it is fabulous. Sir, as many people are associated with teaching, so do you have any suggestions for the people who are associated with teaching?
Yeah, I told you in the beginning, teachers Let us update ourselves. If we don't update ourselves, we will be outdated soon. And do not kill the future. Do not ruin the future. If you just stick to this post, if you just stick to this job and doing nothing, contributing nothing for the betterment of the children. What is the UNESCO 4 pillars of education? To be, to know, to do, to live together. So what does it mean? To be means we have to help the children to identify themselves, to know all the information, all the knowledge we have to give them, to do the life skill which is needed. Like you people are presenting yourself with the skill, with your communicating skill. So to do for the living, that is education, and to live together, live in a harmony, live in a peaceful. Let us be tolerant. Like you should not disrespect the people from different community, people from different religion. So all these things should be there in a teacher. Then only a teacher becomes a complete teacher. And the most important thing is training. Training is must, and keep yourself updated.
Indeed, teaching is a great profession, and we salute those teachers who are risking their lives for us. You all are the important part of our life as well. Lastly, where do you see yourself in the next 10 years, sir?
Oh, this is very, I don't know where I see after 1 year, but I will be in the education profession. I will definitely work very hard, and I will definitely try to contribute something to my nation through education. And for that, like I'm working day and night, I'm working, I'm studying. So because I know that I cannot live without my children, because I'm so fond of my children. Whenever I see my children in front of me, it gives me happiness from inside. It gives me real smile which people can easily see. So that means like I will be in this profession, and I will definitely try something. I will definitely try to contribute in the field of education.
Hope your plans execute in the way you are thinking. So now we are actually going with the neck-breaking questions with our vice principal, sir. Though it seems neck-breaking, we are not actually going to break your neck. It's all about some of the big questions that we are going to ask you, and you have to answer it really, really quick.
Okay.
Are you ready for it, sir?
Yeah, I'm very excited, nervous. Okay.
The first question is, what is the most delightful word you can think of?
Food. I'm fond of food. I'm a great foodie. Yes. Yes, Marika. What is the next question?
So, as you have read many of the books, so how many books have you read so far this year?
This year, I was reading a cognitive psychology. It is regarding the mental process. But what happened because of this COVID-19, like I have to read a lot of articles, I have to train myself about the online classes and all these things. So I didn't get time to read other books. So I'm mostly focused in reading the how to make teaching learning interesting in this online classes. All these kind of articles I am reading these days.
So if you could be any famous personality, what would you be?
Definitely, I would like to be like Kulman Ghising.
Have you ever stood first in your class?
Never. I was an average student. I told you, like, it's not necessary to be a topper in the class to be successful in your life. You have other strengths. I was a very good manager when I was in school. I always used to be manager of our school class football team, class cricket team, and all this things. So I was a good manager.
So what do you think of when I say Paragon homeschooling?
Paragon homeschooling, like it is a dedicated team of teachers. Our young MD was very dynamic, who has accepted the changes and immediately acted according to the situation. Because of him, an entire team, our Paragon IT team, like who is working day and night. Otherwise, like say, it is so difficult children to arrange the classes like this. And our teachers, they are working, like sitting in front of computer for 6-7 hours is not easy. Like we have realized now when we are sitting in front of computer for so many hours. So the entire team worked so hard, and that's the result. This is the reason, like what is appreciated and liked by everyone. But we don't say like we have achieved everything. We are working on it. We will improve on it, and we will definitely make it better every day.
Well, now let me take the opportunity to ask you some questions. So, what is the last thing you learned from a mistake?
Uh, my mistake was like my classmate. He used to say like my very good friend, my classmate, though we were of the same age. He told me long time back, don't expect too much. Too much expectations always lead to frustration. So I used to expect a lot from some people, and because my friend said that word, it changed my perception. And so wherever I expected, I get my expectation is not met. Like I get frustrated. So I have learned that we should not expect much from anyone or anything.
And what is your greatest strength?
My greatest strength, I must say, my hard work and my disciplined life.
Well, that seems so good. And what is the first thing you notice about your student?
Obviously, for boys, I see their haircut, and girls, I see their skirt. Whether the skirt is below the knee or not.
Now, which word would you use to describe the term teachers?
Teachers, okay, teachers, I already said, an experienced learning companion. Because throughout the journey of education, you will get many traveling companions. So teachers are like that. So through their experience, they will teach you. So teachers are an experienced learning companion.
Yes, indeed, there are second parents as well. So now I'm going to ask you a question which might be a bit tough to you. So
Okay.
which one will you choose out of these three? Either students or teachers or your family?
Out of these three, students,
Teachers and your
te-
family.
okay, so this is quite a tricky question. But I have given priority to my students most of the time, I think. More than my family, I have given priority to my students. So I think I will give priority to my students.
Well, neck-breaking questions were really very fun. Lastly, sir, is there anything or any experience that you want to share with us and people watching us live?
Yeah, let me tell everyone, education is a big challenge now. And Jack Ma already said, like in 30 years, education will change totally. Okay, and you might have seen the movie Matrix. In that movie, there was a socket behind this Keanu Reeves' head, and they used to like download all the data. If I want to fly a helicopter, everything will be downloaded over there. So recently, Elon Musk he has developed a chip, brain chip, which can be inserted inside our head. So I think the future will be like this. All those physics formula, maths formula, we don't need to learn. Everything will be downloaded. So what we have to learn is other skills, which for which we don't need to compete with the machine. Okay, that is values, our relation with each other. Okay, so all these kind of things, all the soft skills. So these are the things which we have to be ready in the coming years.
Listening to you was wonderful and actually fun. Thank you so much for sparing your precious time for our viewers who are watching us live and our show. We know that our teachers work very hard preparing for our classes, and we even acknowledge that we don't want to kill your time. So nevertheless, you may leave the meeting, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. It's nice talking to you. I love you all, my
Thank you,
children.
sir.
You are wonderful. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye, sir.
Hi, sir.
So with this wonderful ending of the interview, we really enjoyed learning more about him and his personality. Thank you so much for sparing your precious time to us and our show. Once again, sir, I hope our viewers also enjoyed it a lot. We are thrilled to work with him as well as our viewers for the show. Thank you so much, sir.
Well, the interview was also brilliant, and we actually are so happy to bring up the topic like this and have a great talk.
Wait, have the show come to an end? Are we leaving our audience like this?
Well, take a deep breath, my friends. We always have something for our viewers and we need to come up with something new. We never thought of taking the interview sitting at our home, did we?
No way, it is brilliant.
We actually had so much interest in coming to shows like this since the past, but the fear of getting judged about our speaking always kept us backwards. We feared to come in mass and screen, but now we actually are enjoying it. And we believe in ourselves, and that is the greatest thing that leads you to your success. Right, Fayal?
So true, Sandhya. Self-belief is what matters, and if you care about people judging you, you actually are taking yourself away from success and happiness.
So, dear viewers, the more you believe in yourself, the more you could trust yourself. The more you could trust yourself, the less you compare yourself to others. If you can't believe in miracles, then believe in yourself. When you want something bad enough, let that drive push you to make it.
Amazing, Sandhya.
So, with this note, we thank all our viewers for your precious time and support. You have been the most supporting audience so far. Please stay close to family members and away from coronavirus. We all together can come over it with happy smiles and wonderful beginnings. Thank you so much for being with us for this whole time. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.